on that old folk festival circuit for a long time, for a little over 20 years. So I played with all these old guys that did most of these songs. Josh White died in '69, but he was real sick before he died. He smoked all the time, so his lungs were pretty shot. The last 4 years, he was sort of a figurehead. He came and sat and didn't do too much. Reverend Gary Davis died of a heart attack in a Volkswagen on the way to a gig in New Jersey. And I used to think it was a little bit atrocious that he was buried in New Jersey, because he was born down in Lawrence, South Carolina, you see. And then I found out that nearly everybody from New York, when they die, they bury them in New Jersey, if you're from New York City, because they don't have any more room to bury anybody in New York City. So they bury all of them in New Jersey now. So it wasn't, after I learned that, I was slightly relieved, you know, that it was normal. But I talked to Mac Arnold. I told him, I said, it might be nice to get a fundraiser together and get Reverend Davis brought back to Lawrence, maybe. But he's probably fine. He moved to New York City in 1945, and he had a little storefront church in Harlem. And, you know, he was blind, totally blind. But the one thing all the old bluesmen had in common, they all went to the Spartanburg School for the Deaf and Blind, every one of them. Blind Boy Fuller, Blind Blake, Blind Lemon, all of them. Blind Johnny Miller, Reverend Davis, all of them went there. A lot of them went there at the same time. And so that's how they kind of found out about each other. So when they played on the streets, they frequently played in little groups. And I remember Johnny Miller telling me this funny story that he wanted to emphasize this to me. So, you know, he's blind as a bat, so he's been blind since birth. And he said, the white people never robbed me. They never broke my guitar. They never robbed us or nothing. But he said, my own people robbed us all the time. So remember that the way it worked was you had to sort of get permission, that is to stand out there long enough so the police could see you. And they'd let you play for tips, you know, on the street. And then when they figured that you'd been there long enough, and Johnny used to laugh, he said they knew exactly what we were doing. As fast as we got tips, we went and bought wine, and then we all were standing out there drunk, and we all spent nights in the tank, everybody. But so they weren't resistant about it. You know, when the policeman came around, he'd say, all right, I'm going to go around the block. When I get back, y'all be gone. And they would be gone. But they had one-sided fellow with them, you see. And his name was Chilly Wind. That was his nickname. And he didn't play guitar. He played washboard. So one time they got robbed, and in the ensuing fight, Chilly Wind got put in the hospital. So there went their only sighted guy. And Mrs. White, this all happened right here in Greenville, so Mrs. White, that's Josh White's mother, she had gone down to the police station and said, look, I want my porch to be safe haven for all these blind street singers. Now the reason she said that was her husband was the leading minister of the black community. He led the church and he always looked after those guys. Just like Reverend Curitan did here for so many years with Johnny. So when she went down there, they knew who she was and they knew where her house was. And so they said, fine, yeah, that'll be safe haven. If they can get there, they can hang out right out there. Well, Johnny said without chilly wind, they couldn't really get there too quick. But he said when the policeman came around that day, without chilly there, he said, all right, I'm going around the block. When I get back, I want y'all to be gone. Johnny said, you should have heard all them sticks. We were going down the sidewalk. And he thought that was real funny, I mean, so did I, So this is one of Reverend Davis's songs. He wrote it right out there in Greenville about 1910. Now, I remember he was born in Lawrence, so they used to bring him to Greenville in the wagon, pulled by a mule. And like he said, you can't do that every day. You won't be back till it's time to start again. And you're going to wear the mule out. So they would drop him off and he'd just, hang out. This is one of his songs that he wrote way back then. Let's get together right down here. Come on, get together now, right down here. Let's get together right down here. Let's get together now, see it, right down here. Let's kneel together, right down here. Let us kneel together now, right down here. Kneel together, right down here. Let's kneel together now, see, right down Let us pray together, right down here. Let us pray together, right down here. Pray together, right down here. Let us pray together, see it, right down here. Let us get together.